Hello and welcome to this video tutorial. In this first part on the series of creating your first invoice, I will be talking about how to add items. So on the main screen of PPOS, click on the Sales button, which will open up the Sales module. I will assume that your default screen will be the one that you can choose the different sales modules from. If your default screen was the Cash Invoice or Account Invoice screen, then simply click the previous button or press the Escape key to go back to the Sales menu. Click on the Items button on the Sales menu. This will show the item search screen. And since you don't have any items to search for, the new item screen will slide in from the right. In PPOS, an item can be either a product or a service. A product is an item that has a quantity associated with it. So you buy a certain quantity of products from your suppliers and you sell a certain quantity of products to your clients. Product items might be a can of Coke or a length of cable. A service item is an item that does not have a quantity associated with it, nor does it have a cost price. Service items might be labor charged per hour or consultancy fees. I will show you how to add a product item, but you are free to add service items if you don't sell any products. The procedure is the same, except that you will click on the service option instead of the product option. So to add a product, make sure that the product option is highlighted. If it's not, click on it. This will tell PPOS that this current item is a product. Next is the item code field. This is the code that PPOS will use to find and display this item on the documents and reports. This code can be either a barcode or your own unique made-up code. This code can be between 1 and 13 characters and can consist of any combination of numbers and letters. If you plan to use the label generator to print your own barcoded labels, use item codes between 8 and 13 characters long. You can type your item code by using a keyboard, scan it with a barcode scanner, or if you have a tablet, click on the button next to the item code field to scan it in by using the built-in camera of your device. Press the Tab key to move to the next field, or simply click on it with your mouse. The quantity available field allows you to specify your initial stock on hand for this item. For instance, if you counted the quantities of this item and you found 50 units, then type 50 in here. Please note that you must work in units, but you can link cases that, for example, contain 6 units to the main unit item. But this will be covered in detail in another video tutorial. Note that the quantity field will not be available if you have selected this item to be a service item. The description field can be either a single or multi-line description. Although it's not necessary how you compose your description, it does help to have a structure to it. For example, start your description with what the item is, then the make of the item, and then the size or weight. For example, coffee, first choice, 500 gram. The cost price field specifies the cost price, which you have paid for this item. If you will charge VAT, then this cost price will always exclude VAT. If you are not VAT registered, then this cost price will always include VAT. If you are using the retail version of PPOS, then future purchases of this item will be calculated as an average cost price and displayed as such in this field. Note that the cost price field will not be available if you have selected this item as a service item. Next up is the maximum discount field. Here you can specify the maximum discount that can be given for this item. If you don't specify a value here, you won't be able to give discount for this item when you sell it. The markup field is optional, so if you know the default markup for this item, you can specify it here. Otherwise, you can tab down to the Selling Inclusive field to provide the default price which will be charged for this item. For those of you who don't know what markup is, I will explain it shortly. Markup is a profit value, or percentage in this case, that you add to the cost price of an item. This profit value must cover your costs and allow for a net profit at the end of the day. Please consult your bookkeeper for a broader explanation on markup, gross profit or GP, and net profit. Note that the markup field will not be available if you have selected this item as a service item. Use the taxable button to indicate if you will charge VAT on an item or not. Specify a VAT value next to it to indicate the VAT percentage that will be charged for this item. That's all that PPOS need for now, so you can go ahead and click on the OK button to save this item. If PPOS was happy, a green confirmation bar will slide in from the top, stating that a new item was added. And the new item will also be placed at the top of the grid in the item search screen. The fields on the new item screen will reset so that you can add the next item's detail in them, and so on. You can continue to add all your items now, as I will be covering the next section in the next part of this tutorial. Thank you for watching. This concludes the first part of our video tutorial. We recommend that you watch the next video in our series on creating your first invoice.